What is up everyone, my name is Pinchade and today I'm going to be reviewing The Crew 2. This game is a Ubisoft game released on May 31st, 2018, so it's been a little while. As a little heads up, I'm playing on a PlayStation 5. It is actually a PlayStation 4 version, but it seems to be playing pretty smoothly so far. That's actually one of the first things that I want to get into. There are a lot of textures popping in and out constantly, especially when you're driving at high speeds, which is fine until you actually take a second, stand still there and take a look at the textures themselves. They can be pretty bad sometimes. That being said though, it says over here on Google that there is a PlayStation 5 version available, which is false. You can actually play it on the PlayStation 5, but it's just backwards compatible. Now, in order to gain XP in this game, you're going to be driving around, you're going to be driving a boat, you're going to be flying around in an airplane. There are a bunch of events that you can do and just a lot of free roam things that you can just relax with. For example, the Help Wanted missions. These are pretty simple, right? You just drive from point A to point B to drop off a package. But in the meantime, you're still interacting in the open world. So I'm just cruising along and all of a sudden there are like two players on bikes that are suddenly driving with me information and just follow me to every destination that I'm going to. I did like 7 or 8 delivery missions with 2 random guys following me along. So there is an actual community here. People are still playing this game. The only downside is I'm super low level and everyone is like level 1600 something or 1800 something. So I'm trying to catch up to these guys, which is pretty difficult, right, level-wise, because these guys have cars that I don't have, and because that these are like Motor Pass exclusive cars, I do not have access to these cars ever. All it does is say, hey, this was in a previous pass, you cannot unlock this, good luck. That's all it does, which kind of is disappointing for me. But for 3 million points together in-game with in-game money that you earn, you can actually buy the Motor Pass for this current season, which is great. If you get 4 million together, you can actually skip 50 tiers. That's all of them. There are no more tiers besides 50 tiers. So if you pay 4 million, you just unlock everything, which sounds great to me and I wish I did that. So if you're planning on picking up the pass, please save up the extra million and get the 4 million version. Unless you really feel like grinding it out, but currently it has 34 days left and I'm not sure if I'm going to make it in time, so definitely a heads up right there, make sure you pick the right version, because once you've picked your version you can't go back, you can't upgrade your pass. One issue that I keep running into is the fact that when you're trying to load the in-game camera to take pictures with, it can sometimes take 10 seconds to load. So I would highly recommend just using the share button on your PlayStation or using the button on your Xbox in order to capture gameplay or take a screenshot, as it takes way too long. So you have these challenges inside the world where you have to take pictures of animals with your car while you're driving around, and if it takes like 10 seconds to load, the world freezes while you're trying to take that picture, which is great, but I feel very discouraged having to go around taking pictures when it takes me 10 seconds to load the thing. And the last issue I actually run into is whenever I walk away from my PlayStation and I come back to it, whenever I am standing in front of an event, I actually have to drive back up to the event in order to start it because it just gets glitched out and it just disappears from the map for a few seconds. I don't know why that is, but it is super annoying. Now those are the only 2 main issues that I've ran into so far. Other than that guys, the gameplay, the graphics are pretty great, some minor visual bugs every once in a while, but that's about it pretty much. I would love to see a version for the PlayStation 5 released at some point, maybe. But I'm not gonna get my hopes up for that one. At this point, the only thing that I think that they should try and fix is the Battle Pass issue, so that I can go back and buy these cars separately. If there is a way to do it, guys, let me know in the comments down below. Now, trying to get money can be difficult sometimes since you seem to average about 15,000 to 22,000 per race. There are some races that you can do that will get you 95,000 if you do it on Ace, which is the max difficulty as far as I know. But you're going to be sitting there for the next 10 to 15 minutes, depending on the type of race that you're doing. This could be a bike race. There is one with a Harley Davidson. I can do that in about 12 minutes or so, which will get me 95k, which is pretty good, at least I think it is. And I just unlocked another one, which is for my street car, and that one's also paid me pretty well, but it's a little bit lower. I think it's like 85k or 83k at the Ace level, which is still pretty good compared to the regular races that you're doing, which will only get you 15k. Now, every time when you up the difficulty, so you go from normal to hard and then you go to Ace, there will be a slight difference in payout there. It's gonna go up just a little bit, but it's not enough to keep me grinding on these 3-4 minute levels compared to the bigger ones where I'm just getting 95k in a row. So I would love to see a few more rewarding missions, or at least figure out a way to earn some more money with the regular missions, or I don't know, increase the difficulty somehow even higher and make sure that I can get more money. At the end of every race, the game will drop you parts. Now, these parts are graded: gray, green, blue, and purple. There's also yellow in there, with purple being the highest rarity. Now, it should also be noted that just because a part has a higher rated color does not particularly make it better. So you're going to be comparing stats quite a bit here, and you're going to make sure that you get all the right colors and you get every single upgrade that you can with the specific bonuses given to that part. Now, if you do not like the current upgrade that you have on that part, but you still want to use that particular part, you can use the affix way to upgrade that part and re-roll the stats. So you can pick whatever stats you want, and you can just keep doing this over and over and over again until you have what you want. Now, one of the ways to do this is by scrapping old parts, and then you can use the currency from those scrapped parts plus a little bit of the in-game money to re-roll those parts for you, which is pretty useful. And it's one of the ways to get your equipment to max gear score as fast as possible, it seems. So what we have is a big open world where you can do whatever you want. If you just want to drive around and explore, you can, and you definitely should, because it's a lot of fun. If you want to do street races, this is definitely the game for you. Now, I have definitely not played enough with the planes or the boats, because for some reason, I just can't really get into it. It just doesn't feel right. The controls for it just feel way too simplified compared to the driving mechanics, so it just feels like the game excels at the driving and everything else just comes second. Now, for the video, I did go out into a plane again, and I did go out onto a boat again and have a little bit of fun, but it just wasn't giving me the same feeling that I had while driving. It just feels so boring and so oversimplified that I just can't get into it at all. So if you're looking for a fun open world driving game, this can definitely be it. The only downside is there is no crossplay, so you're just going to be playing with people on your platform. But there seems to be enough of a player base, at least right now here in 2023, in order to play the game and have a little bit of fun. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give the video a like. If you disliked the video, give the video a dislike. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comment section down below. And other than that, I hope to see you guys real soon. Goodbye, guys.